Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diet, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society.
Okay. Um, Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to our Learn to Earn program for the African Women in Decentralized Finance. This being the first lesson for Circle 6. So welcome once again. And I hope everyone here has a wallet address. So today we are honored to have a guest speaker from Women in Business Kenya, who will share her insights. And yeah, so let me take you through our agenda for today. First, we'll have our guest speaker named Priscilla from Women in Business, who will be giving us insights. And after that, we'll have additional comments and notes from the CEO of Actuate Biomedicine, Dr. Masharia Waringi. And then after that, I welcome any question. We'll have interactive session of question and answer. Feel free to share your comments, or if you have any question, also feel free. And then after that, I'll do the closing remarks. So without wasting time, as we wait for people joining, allow me to welcome Priscilla. Priscilla, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Dolphin, for this opportunity. I don't know if I'm audible enough. Unaniskia? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. How do I proceed? Do I start my presentation, or do we give it like, I don't know, how many more minutes? Do I start?
Yeah, maybe you can begin. Yeah, people will just join. I'm sure they are joining.
Okay. Oh, so good evening once again. My name is Priscilla. I'm from an organization in Kenya known as Women in Business. And Women in Business is a national organization that unites professionals and entrepreneurial women with a shared mission of promoting welfare and economic opportunities. The network empowers women to overcome challenges, speak with one voice on matters that impact professional and business growth. Well, we have four main pillars, and one of our main pillar being financial inclusion and investment, where we support women in accessing financial tools, resources, and investment opportunities. Another pillar is market linkages and partnership, where we foster connections between women entrepreneurs and markets to enhance competitiveness. And the third one is networking. We provide a network for women to meet each other, talk about policies while fostering professional networks. And the final one, where we mentor. We have mentorship and capacity building. We build women's capacities through mentorship, training, leadership programs on human development, and of course, this we do with women who are experienced when it comes to businesses. They're already in businesses, they're doing well. And this program will invite whoever feels that they need someone to work with the entrepreneurial journey with, because you see, the journey of an entrepreneur in most cases is very lonely, and it doesn't have to be that way. So we when you come and tell us, I'm in this business, so we hold your hand, we link you up with someone who has been in that business, so that you can learn one or two things and therefore not to be lonely in your journey as an entrepreneur. So why focus on women's economic empowerment? We believe that when a woman is empowered economically, the whole community changes. And one of the reasons why we focus so much on women economic empowerment is to reduce poverty. Women have a tendency of reinvesting a significant portion of their earnings into their families and communities. And therefore, by empowering a woman, the poverty rate decreases. Because, for example, let's say a woman was not initially earning anything, and now they are earning, let's say, 500 shillings a day. So we say that a significant amount of that share will go back to the family, in that she'll buy a balanced diet for the family. She'll try, she'll buy, some clothes for the children, and that's one way of reducing poverty, in our communities. Two, we want to enhance gender equality. Economic empowerment is a critical step towards gender equality. You see, in most cases, where the woman, is not earning anything, they have a tendency of even staying in abusive relationships, and because after all, they have nowhere to go, they have no money, so they'll stick around in very toxic environment just to survive. And therefore, this does not, this plays a major role in even the spread of domestic violence and such. Another reason why we are very passionate about women and economic empowerment is to improve productivity. You see, in most economies all over the world, a huge number, a huge population is made up of women, right? So that is labor in itself. So when we ensure that a huge labor market is working, it's getting income, it improves the productivity of that country and leads to economic growth. Are we together up to there? Dolphin?
Yes, we are together.
Yes, we are
And
together.
I can,
We're following.
are we just the two of us? Oh, okay. Or we are several?
Yeah.
Okay. Another reason why we focus on economic empowerment is to improve the health and well-being of communities and societies. When a woman is empowered economically, they can even take care of themselves. For example, if the woman is, let's say, pregnant, and she is in a position to even provide balanced diet for herself, can access the prenatal care, so that trickles down to even improved maternal and child health outcomes, So this even reduces the burden, the disease burden to the country, because she can take care of herself, of her baby, and the child when the child is born. So these are some of the reasons, not all, just to mention that we are very passionate about improving the woman's economic status. So let's go to the current status of the women. This data is taken from a report from the UN Women, and despite the progress, and so much has been done here in Kenya. I understand that this forum is from all over Africa, right, Dolphin? Dolphin?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk about here in Kenya. We have seen several improvements here and there. Notably, we were not where we were a few years ago. But according to a report by the UN Women, 1 in every 10 women lives in below $2.15, and this shows that some women, especially those who are in marginal rural communities, they're still living in extreme poverty. This is where they're struggling to get food, shelter, clothing, they're still struggling. So we still have a long way to go when it comes to, trying to empower mostly the rural women and all that. And when the research also says that 31.9% of women experience food insecurity, compared to 27.6% of men. Wow, that's food is basic, very basic. And this is mostly actually also common in the rural areas, where we even have older women, very old women. They cannot even fend for themselves and they are left alone. Maybe they don't have a partner, their partner's passed away, and they're old, and fending for themselves is a problem. So when it comes to food insecurity, still the woman doesn't have enough food compared to the man, and that trickles down to the children as well. When it comes to social protection inequalities, women are 8% less likely than men to access employment-based social protection, such as pension, maternity benefits. There are so many inequalities that are still there. We have heard of cases whereby an employee, and I mean an employer, once they realize that you're expectant, they will look for a way to let you go, before that times of delivering comes, and therefore they don't want to give the maternity package benefits. And these are real life challenges and have been there. And of course, there have been significant improvements, and some organizations are very supportive when it comes to motherhood and even providing a safe environment for motherhood, but some are really not yet there. So this is work in progress, and we hope to see improvements in the future. When it comes to access to water and sanitation, well, there's a real challenge there. Women and girls are responsible for water collection in 70% of households. This is global, this is everywhere. When it comes to domestic chores, it's the work of the woman and the girls. Wake up early, go look for water. When it comes to the issue of menstrual hygiene and management, is a real challenge, and this basically affects the women and the girls. So this is an area that is, a lot still needs to be done. When it comes to financial inclusion, this is also another area where we have seen improvements. Organizations are working to ensure that women are not left behind when it comes to financial inclusion. But still, according to the UN, Women report 74% of women globally have bank accounts compared to 78% men, So you see that this is a global issue whereby we even have some women do not have even bank accounts, In developing economies, the gender gap in financial access, is 6%, restricting women's ability to save, invest, and access to credit. And some of these issues are even cultural, where the girl is not allowed to own some type of property, like here in Kenya. When it comes to the land issue, wow, it's a real problem. In some families, the girls is not supposed to inherit, what with the ancestral land, and still when she gets married, she cannot. The land belongs to the husband now, unless she works so hard to buy her own piece of land where she can have the title deed and all that. You see, when she goes to financial institution and is asked to give a collateral, land is not easily accessible to her, because at this case she doesn't have land back at home where she's married. These issues are affecting the women's financial inclusion. When it comes to the digital divide, where women, 37% of women do not use the internet. This is all over the world. When it comes to the issue of, even when you're talking of blockchain, how will the woman learn of all this technology if she doesn't have access to a good phone where she can browse? So a good number of women do not even have access to these gadgets, leave alone the internet. They do not have the basic phone for calling. So this even makes it very hard to get them involved in activities and opportunities that can lead them to, generate a bit more income for themselves. So that's the status in a brief. Not every aspect is touched, but it's a brief to kind of give us the realities that are happening on the ground. So access to women in finance. This is where we are now. When you talk of women and finances, there are major barriers. Some of them are cultural, like some of them are cultural, like the ones that I've mentioned. Some of them, the financial capability. Women face mostly when it comes now to marginalized women, the digital gap, where they do not have access to internet, the phones, anything that can help them learn more. It's a real problem. And when it comes to the intervention that have been put in place, we have seen effort, mostly from some financial institutions, whereby they are really working to develop products that are friendly to the women, some financial. So, for example, we have banks having a queen's banking segment. We have institutions like insurance. They're working to develop products that are friendly to the women. But still, this is where now this technology of blockchain comes in, where the woman, where most of these barriers are being broken, and we have, a real possibility of change. Kenyan women, are very eager to learn. They're eager to explore new areas. And Kenyan women rank among the first in Africa and third globally to be, to be engaged in cryptocurrency and trying to, to trade online. However, the understanding still remains limited, you know. And in my network, in our organization, we have three categories of women. We have those who are experts, they're doing well, they're making good profit margins, and they're selling online. And we have those who are, yes, aware of this technology, but not active. They're still weighing to see how it goes. So those ones, they have just basic understanding, but no hands-on experience. Then we have the other category of women who are totally uninformed, totally no exposure on blockchain or crypto. And these are some of the women that we should target, and give them the knowledge, train them, introduce them slowly by slowly, to these opportunities and see how it goes. And some of the reasons why women are skeptical on joining these technologies, they have limited access to technology. Some of them are not digital literate. Some of them, they fear, oh, this sounds so complex, fear of complexity. And also there's a societal biases whereby like, oh, I'm too old to engage in this type of, let me leave this one to the Gen Z and the millennials, No, the others fear scams, being scammed. And also when approaching these women, we should try to make this technology as simple as it is, to improve this fear, to make sure that they do not feel that they're out of place and this is not where I'm supposed to be, to help them learn, keep learning and engaged. So after that, do we have any question?
Is there any question?
I think there are no questions. So far, so good, Priscilla. Thank you. Keep going. That's excellent. Hello, Priscilla. Did you?
Hello.
Yes, I don't think there's a question. So far, so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I audible enough? Because I'm like, you can hear me guys still?
Yeah, you're excellent.
Okay.
And by the way, Priscilla, you should know that this meeting is also being streamed through YouTube as well. So there are people who are not here, but they're on YouTube. And of course, it's going to be on YouTube forever and ever, for the life of YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So it will be an honor. Let me just continue. So this opportunity of even learning and earning, it's a project that women will be really interested in. And it's a way that women entrepreneurs can access alternative funding sources, because sometimes when you go to the bank, there are so many requirements, and sometimes, that process of applying for those loans can leave the women downtrodden, and some of them even give up. So we are happy to engage further with Actuate and slowly introduce more and more women to this technology and keep learning and relearning what we need to beat the fear that comes with it. And yes, so in conclusion, what I can say is that this is the way to go when it comes mostly to, one of the interventions to improve the women economic status all over the world, not only here in Kenya. And therefore, we can, improve the situations of women, look for ways to compensate even the work that we do at home when we are on maternity leaves, when we are doing, house chores, so that we don't feel like this is unfair to us as the women. So we are so happy and honored, and we would of course be very happy to partner with you, Actuate, to educate our women, yes, and bring more and more women on board. Thank you so much. Dolphin, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priscilla, for that insightful presentation. And it's also inspiring to hear about the impactful work that Women in Business Kenya is doing to drive women economic empowerment, in that their aim is to reduce poverty, also enhancing gender equality, improving productivity, and also uplifting society, society as a whole. And also another thing, it's also an eye-opening to learn that 7% of women are not currently using the internet. That is highlighting the need for more digital inclusion. And also, so thank you so much for that. Yeah. And if you have any question, kindly type on our chat box. Meanwhile, allow me to welcome our CEO of Actuate Biomedicine, Dr. Macharia Waruingi. Doctor, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Dolphin. Thank you. Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, Dolphin.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Priscilla. Wow, amazing. Well, very, very powerful speech, Priscilla. Women,
Thank you.
yeah, women are considered the enemy of the traditional finance. Did you know that people in traditional finance consider women to be enemies? Did you know that? And the reason they say that is that women are unprofitable. And so they do everything to exclude women from finance. That is crazy. Then sometimes I ask them, from where did you come? Where did you come from, Mr. Man? Even some of those people are women. When you still look at the banking policy, it has no room for women. By the way, all the way from the top. Let's say the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank. All the stuff they talk about women empowerment is just yada, yada, yada. It's a make-believe story. When it comes to the real deal of finance, the commercial banks, they don't want women. And it's because they believe that women just consume the money and they're not going to make profits because of that. That is the horrible truth. And the value of the work that the woman, the value of the work of the woman does not appear anywhere in the financial balance sheet of any centralized finance organization. For example, you cannot go to the bank and say, what value did a woman do? Did a woman provide by getting pregnant, carrying a baby for 9 months? If you go to Equity Bank and say, even ask the owner of Equity Bank, what's the value? How can you account for the value of your mother for carrying you for 9 months to bring you to this life in this world? And then if you ask him the second question, what value? How can you account for the value that your mother brought by going through labor to deliver you to us as human beings? They say, oops, I don't know that value. Yeah. Then you ask them that question. How can you account for the value of your mother for breastfeeding you for at least 6 months before you could even walk, even chewed potatoes or with your own teeth because you didn't even have any? That value of that work does not appear anywhere in the balance sheet of the traditional finance system. That is the tragedy of finance. Why is it that we have lived for so many thousands of years having women do all this work, and then the finance system, the way it's built, does not recognize the value of that work. And that's why women end up on the head side of economics, like or the head side of poverty. Many women in African countries are unbanked. They don't have access to finance services. And this is what Priscilla has told us. The unbanked cannot even open a bank account because when a woman goes to the bank, she's given a whole lot of requirements. It's not that they cannot open a bank account for you, is that they do not want you to open the account. That's why they tell you, you cannot open an account unless you have this and this and that and that. Yeah. And then it's a conspiracy. Now the culture comes in where women are not allowed to hold the title deeds for their land. They cannot inherit their things. So it's like the entire economic system has conspired against women. But that is the past. Glad that we are now in the future. The future of money. The future of money is the one that recognizes the value of the women. That future is on the blockchain. For those people who are scared of the blockchain, they need to know that it's not going back. The blockchain is already here. Has come. So the best thing we can do is learn how to use it. And it's the greatest technology of age that has been innovated. You could say invented. The greatest technology invented because it helps to recognize the value of the work of the woman. It can put that value on the balance sheet for the first time in the history of mankind. And I will tell you how. That process is called tokenization. We can now tokenize the value that a woman is producing every single day, even by getting pregnant, by conceiving a baby for us, so we can have a newborn, by carrying that pregnancy to term, and even going through labor, which is a very painful process, delivering to us a newborn, and even supporting that newborn with her own body, nutritionally and even emotionally and socially, until the baby can sprout new teeth to start chewing potatoes, and later on to even chew meat, and still leaves that baby even in the old age. Okay, so through teenage, all that value, raising children, families, that value has never been on the balance sheet. But today, I'm very glad to tell you that that value would be on the balance sheet. How will it happen? And this is the mystery that the mystery that the blockchain is helping to unveil. How is it going to work? And first of all, let's talk about the fear of the blockchain. Blockchain, of course, the people in the traditional finance system are the ones who are spreading this fear. Yeah, and skepticism about the blockchain. Blockchain is not just about cryptocurrency. It's a system for representation of value of work that you produce every day. It's a system of representation of value of the work that you produce every day. When that value is represented, then you can trade that value. It appears in the marketplace. That has never happened in the history of mankind, such that now the value of the things that you're doing on a daily basis gets represented with a token. The token is a symbol of representation of value. And that token is liquid. And when it is liquid, it is current. Things that are current are known as currency. See? It's called currency because it is liquid, because it is flowing like a river. Now, value is of no use if it cannot flow, if it is not liquid, by the way. That's why you have title deeds for lands and buildings, because the land itself is not the value. The land has no value without title. So the title deed of the land is what gives that land value. And you can go with that title deed to the bank and borrow money against it. That is what makes the land liquid. So land can flow from one bank to another through the title deeds. But then the value of the work that woman produces, like getting pregnant or conceiving a baby, has no representation like a title deed. It doesn't appear anywhere in the marketplace. such that she can actually take that value and make capital out of it, form capital. That means she can actually fund her whatever she needs to do with that. And so how is it going to work? Let us start from the beginning. That's the creation, conception. So what we are going to do, and what we are actually doing now, is first, when a woman gets pregnant, in this is African women in decentralized finance and in health access, we want to bring that awareness that life begins at conception. So that when a woman is conceived, then we have a smart contract that will be allocating token for woman reporting that she has conceived. Now, if the woman reports that to the local health center, the nearest health service provider, that health service provider can check. This lady has become pregnant. She has reported to us. And she has done a pregnancy test, is positive, and then she receives tokens. So that begins a tokenization of the is an incentive for reporting pregnancy to the health providers. See, when you receive a token, those tokens are liquid, just like we're doing now the Learn to Earn program now, where people receive tokens for coming here. Then the woman will receive tokens for just going to report that she missed her period. Please do a pregnancy test for me. Pregnancy test is positive, and then she received tokens for doing that. Those tokens are liquid. They are like title deeds. It's a title deed for having reported that she's pregnant. Then once the lady has reported she's pregnant, she receives tokens. Then the healthcare providers now should create a follow-up plan where woman has to come back to the health provider for well mother clinic, or well, this is called what do you call expectant mother. That's prenatal care. She comes for prenatal care, evaluations, counseling, and exams, so that every time she comes, she receives tokens. That is, a woman gets paid or get paid for being pregnant. And that value of work is represented in the blockchain, in the marketplace. Because if you get an actual token, the actual token is in the blockchain. So, and this is something we can do, and we should do, and we must do. And this is what we're going to be doing in 2025. How women receive tokens for reporting they are pregnant so that they can receive follow-up care. Yes. And then when she takes, so she's going to be receiving tokens for every appointment she agrees to go, because she cannot receive tokens if she stays at home. This means that being responsible for taking care of herself and following what the midwife or the nurses are telling her, or the community health workers are telling her, she gets rewarded tokens. You know how this is similar to somebody coming and reading your nice post on Facebook and puts a like. That like is like, now when a lady just reports to the health center, when the health center is going through the system and it tells the woman has reported, then she gets allocated a token. It's like she has received a reaction from the blockchain. That reaction is like the way you like something on Facebook and you are taking it to the next level. So the like becomes a token. Okay, so you have that token for every visit, tokens for every visit, even until pregnancy. She delivers the baby at the center. She is going through labor. She also received tokens for that. That is like saying thank you, mama, for bringing us this newborn baby. And you can see, because these tokens are available, we own them. We can give women can receive tokens throughout the entire process of pregnancy, the entire process of labor, and even the entire process of taking care of the newborn. So she goes, if she's taking care of the baby, well, she goes for baby clinic. She receives tokens for every time she takes the baby to the clinic, receives the appropriate immunization, and all the way from step 1, step 2, step 3, and continues to receive tokens until the baby has been weaned off breastfeeding, breast milk, and she's actually receiving education. So this is possible to build. What I'm telling you is actually possible, and it is true. And that way, that value of the work that woman has produced by bringing to us a newborn baby becomes represented in the marketplace, appears in the balance sheet. Because the tokens, once you receive a token, the token is going to be published in, let's say, BSC scan or Etherscan on the blockchain itself. So that means that the blockchain will be paying women for doing what women ordinarily do. That is recognizing the value of the work of the woman. And see, the blockchain is not limited to that. That now issuing tokens is not limited to just the pregnancy. It's everything else, including what we are doing today, this learn to earn session. Without tokens, we cannot say we are going to earn, but we're here so that we can earn tokens. So that when we learn, that learn is incentivized with tokens. You see, this is a huge, it's going to be a huge community education so that people understand it. So first of all, important thing to note is that the blockchain is here. It's not going back. For those who have doubt, they're afraid of it, tell them you can get afraid all you want. The blockchain is not going back to where it came from. It is already here. It's up to whether it's about us, we use it or what. It is like refusing to use WhatsApp because you think that if you talk to people you can't see, that is scary because you're only used to talking to people directly. But if you can't see them because they are very, very far away, what is wrong with that? So let me tell you, blockchain has come as a third iteration of the internet. Internet has evolved through 3 stages. First one was the read web, where you could only read things that are written by others. And so that was 1990s. The second iteration was called the write web, the dynamic web, gave us Facebook. You can now write things to share your knowledge with others. And that brought even things like the like buttons that you find on Facebook, LinkedIn, reactions that you can react to what others are saying. And that helped us to share literally everything from texts to videos, to images, to pictures, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And so we did not complain. Of course, all the time, of course, people complained a lot that I cannot put my pictures on Facebook. That's about 15 years ago. Now ask them today. They will post pictures even when they are in bed. Say, why are you taking picture in bed? See, that is how so Web 2 came and it is already here. Now, blockchain is Web 3. It's called the own web. It recognizes the ownership of the value of the work that you produce every day. The own web, that means anything you do, you can represent that value. Just like you say, just getting pregnant alone is a valuable work, which was not possible to represent in the traditional finance system. So own web is decentralized finance, where DeFi, let's say DeFi, decentralized finance, that's what's called the own web. So who owns what? That's called private property, is ownership, owning your value, and then people recognize that you own that value. Again, ownership is represented through things like title deeds. Okay, like I said before, title deeds. If you're on a piece of land, if you live on a piece of land and you don't have a title deed on that piece of land, you are said to be a squatter on that piece of land. Okay, you're a squatter on that piece of land. That somebody who owns that title deed can always come and remove you from there. If you don't move, it's going to invite the police and the military, even the military, to get you out of their land because they're the ones holding the title. So holding the title is everything. And that's what ownership is all about, by the way. So now we have a web, which is called Web 3 or the blockchain, which helps to recognize ownership of the value that you produce every day. That means getting pregnant is something of value. And you get a title deed for getting pregnant. And that title deed is called the Actuate token. That's the token. And that's where we're talking about tokenization. That's where the word comes from. So tokenization of value. You understand? That's a language, tokenization of value. So it means that we have been doing things all along without owning those things. So, and that means that we are not in the finance system. As far as the finance system is concerned, we are squatters. Can you believe it? Just like people who live on a piece of land without title deed are squatters. We are squatters of the finance system. And that being a squatter of the finance system means that we are people living in abject poverty. So poverty is equals to having no representation of ownership of what you're doing, whether it's your knowledge, whether it is the activity, the motherhood itself. Motherhood itself. If you don't own motherhood, then what are you? You see, you are a squatter in the domain of motherhood, and that means poverty. That is what Hernando de Soto called dead capital. Dead capital is capital where you think you have capital, but you actually are a squatter in that capital. It's dead because it cannot flow. It's not current. It's not currency. It's not liquid. It cannot help you raise money to finance your daily needs or even activities of daily living. And that is what is dead about it. Now, blockchain solves that problem. The death of capital is gone. And so now we have resurrected live capital. Okay, so you could say that is the example of how the blockchain is going to represent value of the woman. Now, women, we believe here in Actuate Nation that women hold the entire sky. So, you know, women hold the sky. There's someone way back in 1950s who came up with the idea that women hold half the sky. Yeah, that was Mao Zedong of China. He said women hold half the sky. Mao Zedong was wrong because who would say the other half of the sky? I think he was suggesting that men are holding the other half. No, wrong answer. Women hold the entire sky because there's nobody who showed up on this planet except through a woman. And relies on a woman to be transported for 9 months in the delivery process, to be delivered to us in the maternity ward or labor ward by a woman, and also rely on the body of the woman to survive, to live on this planet for at least 6 months as you're breastfeeding. So at which point are men holding the sky? There's no point. Men are the backbone, you know, they are actually they can hold the women up to hold the sky so they can continue holding the sky for us. I believe that's why Priscilla said, if you empower a woman in a village, you empower the entire village. That is where it comes from. Women hold the entire sky. Woman will empower the entire village because not only is she going to deliver a new human being to us, she's also going to take care of that new human being with food, shelter, clothing, going shopping, buying clothing and everything, you know, and that's so that means that the economy, what you call the gross domestic product of the nation today, on itself relies on women, on the woman herself. Can you believe that? She's the foundation. Well, not only is she holding the sky, she's also the foundation. Now, if that is the case, then we are very, very pleased to have this new technology that recognizes the value of the work of the woman. And we're going to work every which way to make sure that value is on the blockchain. And we can, particularly the African women who right now do not have access to the banking system. And we have to preach this gospel all the way up to the people in the centralized finance system, like the International Monetary Fund, so that they can stop, you know, pushing that narrative of the centralized finance, which excludes women who are holding the entire sky for us. Who feeds the newborns? The little women. Yeah. So, and I think that's, so in terms of now partnership, I can see us having very huge partnership going forward. There are 3 ways of doing this now. first of all, we have to educate women throughout the entire nation about blockchain. First of all, so that we can dispel that fear that is being instilled, the fear is being instilled upon the people by the people in centralized finance, because they are terrified. They are so afraid that if women actually discover this, where are they going to go? But that's not our concern. It's like the telephone company, like Kenya Post, that telecommunication, being terrified that people can speak on WhatsApp. Yeah, because before WhatsApp came along, people had to go to the Kenya Post to book a telephone line to make a call, what's called a trunk call, or maybe international call. It was very, very difficult. So we had a middleman. Now, the centralized finance people are very scared that when the decentralized finance gains roots in a nation, they are going to become obsolete, which is true, because decentralized finance is going to leap from bankless people, from being bankless, they don't have access to banking services, to right now we say they are unbanked. That's the language. And we have 60% of women who are unbanked. They don't have, because the bankers do not want to bank them. But when decentralized finance gains foothold, they shall never need to be banked. So they'll be totally bankless. So they are going to leapfrog the bank. It is the blockchain helps people to leapfrog the bank with all their requirements, with all the minimum deposits, all the collateral they keep asking, blah, 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 finished. They just leapfrog them. And of course, they are terrified of that. But they should be happy, because it means that they find a different way of doing their business, instead of saying, scaring people, spreading stories of scaring people that, oh, this cryptocurrency is so bad, and all that. Now, we need massive community education, educating people about what blockchain really is. Blockchain is still very new. It's about 10 to 14 years old. But what that means is that it has a lot of language that is not yet understood by a lot of people. So there are three ways we are going to demystify the blockchain. Number one is like what we are doing here, Learn to Earn program, which this is accessible to people who have got internet, and they can participate in this. And then we have this number two, is that we have to go to all the colleges and universities. And in the colleges and universities, we are going to recommend that they teach blockchain to students of all kinds of students, whether in computer science or they're doing nursing, medicine, agriculture, mechanical engineering. They must learn blockchain. Okay? Yeah, but we can begin by insisting that they teach blockchain and decentralized finance to students in computer science. Right now in Kenya, there is not a single university that is teaching blockchain and decentralized finance to their computer science students. So how is the country going to know if the academic enterprise or the academic establishment is not teaching blockchain? You know what is really surprising or knowing is that artificial intelligence, which is very much more recent than blockchain, is already being taught in the universities. They are teaching AI, but they are not teaching decentralized finance and blockchain. Why? You ask yourself that question. Why is it that they are not teaching blockchain and decentralized finance in our universities when they're actually teaching AI? They're actually encouraging students to learn to use AI, but they're not teaching them to learn how to do decentralized finance, which is quite simple. It's just creating wallets. So this is a campaign that we have to do it together, very spirited campaign, to make sure that the university professors teach blockchain to their students, or they allow their students to learn blockchain. And It's why well, that was one of the main outcomes of our summit 2 weeks ago, and the Nairobi summit, is that strong recommendation. And already one university, Technical University of Mombasa, has said they want us to start speaking to them, to speak to the faculty and the students, PhD students, and what else? The master students and undergraduate students in computer science, so they can start learning about blockchain and decentralized finance. So that's the beginning. Because we have 66 universities in Kenya, we want to make sure that every single one of those universities is doing that. So we're going to be communicating with the vice chancellors. And that is academia. But now we also need to teach people in the communities, like women groups. Now, the work that women do in women groups called fundraising or harambes, that work where they raise money through, say, round tables, go around merry-go-rounds, they raise money. That work also is not represented anyway in the finance market. The finance market does not see it because it has no title deed. Again, when the work is not represented, so you can do all go arounds as much as you want. It doesn't show up in the finance market. It's not liquid. It's dead capital. See that? And that is done on purpose. It's done on purpose by people in high finance. We do harambes in Kenya. Almost every week there's a harambe somewhere. But the value produced in that harambe does not show up anywhere in the capital markets, because it is designed that way. When the value does not show up in the capital market, that value does not exist. So again, we are squatters in the finance market because the value of the work that you produce every day is not. Now, blockchain, it means that if people now do a merry-go-round, for every set of shillings they contribute, they receive Actuate tokens. That means that contribution gets represented on the blockchain, can be traded. See? So for every harambe, every shilling that you contribute in harambe also receives an Actuate token. So the value of that harambe gets represented, gets a title deed. That means that harambe can be traded, or it can become liquid and traded in the marketplace. So that's another way. And we have to educate people that in order for the value to multiply or to be liquid, it has to have representation in the marketplace, because the representation of the title deed. And that means that when people do harambes, let us work together. That's every time there's harambe, when people are contributing that into that harambe, that they receive Actuate token for every quantity of money they produce, they actually put together. Now, the language for that in blockchain is called quadratic funding. That's what quadratic funding is all about. It's harambe on the blockchain. Okay. In other words, crowdfunding that is represented in the marketplace. That means that when people contribute that, now when such harambe is done using quadratic funding, then that money goes into liquidity pool and gets even more liquid. And we shall talk more about liquidity pools and how they work and how they will multiply the effectiveness of contribution of each individual by thousands of times. So amplify the effectiveness of contribution. That's the value. And you can see now the reason why they are not teaching blockchain and decentralized finance, it is because of this narrative created by the centralized finance people to say, oh, blockchain is cryptocurrency is evil, blah blah blah. And by that, even academic professors and lecturers are scared of that because they don't want to get involved in what they're calling scam. Blockchain is not scam. It's just like WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not a scam. And so, so then when I was speaking with the professors, they told me that last week they were on strike, 2 weeks ago. I say, why did you go on strike? Because they're not getting paid. See, they're not getting paid. So the value of the work that the university professors are producing does not show up in the marketplace. Because they're waiting for someone else to pay them. And I said, now that is over. You don't have to wait for someone to pay you salary or go on strike to force that person to pay you. But on the blockchain, when you particularly teach your students about decentralized finance, you will be generating your own payments yourself because you own the value of your work. The value of your work is not recognized by the third party who is refusing to pay you, but the value of your work is recognized by the market because it is represented with the tokens. And so you can see when now blockchain takes root, you will not see people going on strike. Because, for example, if a professor teaches students very well, then the students can like what the students have taught, the professor has taught, and by liking, the professor receives tokens. So the value of the work of the professor becomes tokenized that way. And that means the professors will be earning money, just getting paid for just doing what they're supposed to do. There's no need for a professor to strike, to earn money, to convince people that, I'm working very hard, I'm teaching these people. It's the market itself, the students themselves who are receiving the teaching are going to be awarding tokens to their own professors, but they need to understand that first. So this is what you're talking about, massive community education. When we get to that level, and I believe it's not going to take another 10 years before we get there. Just like Facebook, when it came along, in the beginning, people were scared of sending pictures of their babies because they're saying, okay, there are pedophiles out there. If they see your children. But today, as soon as the baby is born, the mother took a picture of the baby to show their friends on Facebook. That took less than 5 years. Same thing is going to happen with the blockchain. Once it gains foot, another 5 years, say like, what are we now, 2024? By 2029, you will see everybody on the blockchain because they have understood that is the internet of value. And so we are ahead. As Priscilla said, particularly Kenyan women are ahead of the curve in this. So let us continue training people, educating people so they understand, learning how to create liquid pools and get the tokens, receive tokens, then they can put those tokens in the pool, learn everything about blockchain because it is not going back. And now lucky, we have US, we have a new president who is pro-crypto, let's say pro-crypto. That's why you saw after he was elected, the Bitcoin price went up by 50% in less than 2 weeks. So you can imagine if he continues being president for the next 4 years, what is going to happen in terms of blockchain education in the world. So we are right on time. So the final thing I want to say about that is that because we are going to do massive community education, every week we have to talk about this because this is the ultimate financial freedom. Then we meet in Boston in 2025, November. So between now and November, let's do a lot of work with with the women in.
Incoming call +1 6 1 7 5 2 2
Women
7 7 7.
I don't know who's calling. Let me just hang up on this one.
Slide to answer.
Hello. I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back. Oh. Wait, I'm gonna call it. So we are talking about Boston. So between now and November, let's do a lot of massive community education, mobilize people, educate women about decentralized finance at every corner of the nation. And at least we are somewhat fortunate because in Kenya, there's a phone in every household. And we simplified the language so that just like when M-Pesa came, people did not need to understand the technology that is pushing M-Pesa, but they just knew that M-Pesa is working. So we simplify the language and we teach the people what is available. The technology is already here. We just need to learn how to use it. Initially it might look as daunting. And the people with only Mlika Mwizi, that means the USSD phone, that's a feature phone. And which the company called Silo Foundation, which is also in Nairobi. And it is creating wallets that can map to your telephone number. Yeah, wallets, instead of having this long wallet address that is 0x, X and O's, numbers and letters, it has only your telephone number, just like M-Pesa. So as a crypto wallet or blockchain wallet that is similar to the M-Pesa wallet. And I think a lot of women are going to benefit from that wallet. So we want to work in partnership with Silo Foundation, with Silo Africa Dale, which is in Nairobi. And so, but we are partners. So if we have this partnership, then we can do massive community education, even teaching people about wallets, how to gain access to the blockchain, so we can begin representing. And then by November, we can come and report experiences about this process, like spreading the gospel of the blockchain into the community. Boston is a significant city in all these things because Boston has got the leading colleges or universities like MIT, where blockchain emerged in the 1930s. By the way, blockchain is not new; it's been around for so many years. And Boston has got Harvard University, Kennedy School of Government, which they are very much interested in the innovations that are happening there in Kenya, by the way. Okay, very interesting. And so we have, of course, Boston. It means also we create a direct path to the diaspora. The diaspora now will help to create liquidity because diaspora is always sending money every day. There's money coming from the diaspora into Kenya to support women business. And when the diaspora money is combined with the local Harambes and local chamas, that money gets represented in the marketplace. That has a huge multiplier effect, and we'll be able to fund lots of businesses by doing that. It's just a representation itself, it's the liquidity. So that I don't overload you with all this, that is what I would like to say about these things. But thank you so much, Priscilla. And we have very good. And so let me just add one thing, that between now and November, we're going to continue working together. And what we like to do is have, as you're mobilizing people, we know that's the partnership, and we shall create an informational commercial about what women in business are doing, so that we can be playing it in these sessions and in the African women in decentralized finance. An information is a 1 minute video clip, a short video, which talks about what you're doing, your products and services, which you can describe those 4 pillars you told us about, and the vision and mission, and your success stories. We can put that in a short video clip that we can be showing people as the informational commercial. That means you're promoting your work in the Learn to Earn session every single week. Okay, yeah, that is let me stop there. Thank you so much, Priscilla, and back to you, Dolphin.
Okay, thank you for those insights. Yeah. So if anyone has any question, feel free to ask. You can send your question on the chat box. Yeah, so feel free. Since there is no question, maybe I will post the link to the attendance form. So if there's anyone here who does not have a wallet address, yeah, kindly you'll reach out to me, and then yeah, I assist you. So thank you everyone for attending this session. Yeah, it has been an good and also an interactive session. So thank you, Priscilla, for being here with us and giving us a brief overview about your organization and also about women empowerment, economic empowerment. And also I'd like to thank Dr. for taking his time and being here with us and also sharing his knowledge. So we really appreciate you. And I would also like to thank each and every one of you for joining us. So thank you everyone. Yeah, I hope I'll give you 5 minutes to fill the form and then I'll close the form. So thank you and have a nice evening. Okay, yeah, Flavius, yeah, I will assist you. Yeah, you have said you do not have a wallet and you like to have one. So yeah, just kindly message me. Yeah, message me and then I will assist you on our WhatsApp. Yeah, you can find my number on the Actuate Nation or African Women in Decentralized Finance.
All right, everyone. If there is no questions, comments, philosophical thoughts, but now this is the end of the year. So next week we don't have lunch one session. That's on. Do we have lunch one session on the Christmas week, Dolphin?
On a Christmas week. Yeah, I think people will be going to Shagos.
That's 24th. So we meet again in the new year. So happy new year, everybody. Now, between now and new year, you create liquidity pools because liquidity will not happen without you creating liquidity pools. Okay, that is the job. All right, and that is your talk to everybody in your community about Actuate token, getting Actuate token to represent the value of the work they do every day. Without title deed, you're a squatter in the finance system. So that we can stop being squatting in the finance system. We get into the real world of finance. And I believe that we're going to dig deep into this, what it means to have representation in the finance system. That is what you call DeFi platforms, liquidity pools, and how they work. That's a big topic that we cover during the blockchain finance class over the weekend on Saturdays. All right. Bye, everybody. There's no questions or concerns, but just build a liquidity pool. That is what's most important. Let us dismantle this mystery of capital. Okay, that lets us understand how we represent our value in the marketplace because you have the technology to do it. All right. Have a good one.
You too.